So this is my raw review of the 25th March 2025 edition. Uh, the thing is, I did like this raw. Apart from the ending of the main event, which felt a little bit flat, I think if you wanted to do a screwy finish, you could have just had Lyra and Raquel as the main event, because you had kind of a clean finish, kind of a not, like she did one with a roll up. The thing is that match ended for me with like most of it happened in the ad break, and even then it was a very short match. In my opinion, I don't know what is going to happen with the women's tag titles, because now only 3 weeks are left. After this week there has been no indication about what's going to happen with the tag titles. The only thing that there has been indication of is that they're doing this fucking YouTube exclusive segments with Maxine Dupree and Natalia, trying to go up against them. Like, what happened to Alexa Bliss? Like, she came back, she she qualified for the chamber, but it never looked like they were really presenting her as a star. Like, they gave her a match, then she got some spots in the elimination chamber also. I think she eliminated Roxanne, I think. But after that, she's not been on TV. I think I thought that because Liv eliminated her, it was probably going to be Alexa and Nikki versus Raquel and Liv. But how much are you gonna build in like 3 weeks? Like, you can build if you can have like the tag team champions and Alexa and Nikki both on like both shows. You can build it. But when? Even the AJ and Logan feud, like the one thing that I do appreciate about the LA Logan and the Logan, Kevin, and Randy feud was that it was very entertaining. Those feuds, like upcoming to their pay per view matches, were very entertaining. Like that LA Kevin Randy feud was actually going on for a while because LA and Kevin Owens were already having a feud. So I think this is what that we have been missing from Logan Paul's feud, that the entertainment value. So you did not have AJ or Logan, both were not on this week, and they're gonna Logan is gonna call out AJ Styles next week in the O2 or whatever it is in England. Then also the thing is that I don't think any match was bad. I think the Rhea, Io, and I think the Rhea, Io, and Bianca segment actually made sense. Like Adam Pearce said, that just because you sign it does not make it official, and he maneuvered it around, all the brawling and everyone getting into each other's, face. That Bianca is right. That she did win the elimination chamber. Why should Rhea be the one getting her rematch right now? Well, Rhea was also right because as a champion, she is mandated a rematch clause. So he made Bianca the special guest referee for the match next week, which I think is probably going to end in shenanigans. It's probably going to be Io wins the match because of Bianca's whatever she does to Rhea, and Rhea just goes crazy, and Adam Pearce to pacify everything, like adds Rhea in the match, or maybe it ends in like a double disqualification, and you know uh, Rhea gets added anyway. Like maybe she does a controversial decision which leads to Io's win, which Adam Pearce adds her. So this makes sense. This feud makes sense. The thing is, the crowd was only into Rhea Ripley. They did give some cheers to Io Sky, but none to Bianca. They were like dead silent when Bianca came out, and then they gave her heel reactions because she got the better of everyone. I like this feud that you can see like there is like heelish action, heelish tendencies from both Rhea and Bianca. Io is probably the only one that is like a pure baby face in this feud. And I think it would storyline wise make sense for Io to retain at Mania. I think I'll probably have this as the main event. But looking at CM Punk's promo, it feels that Roman, CM Punk, and Seth are probably gonna main event night one. Because I think one thing that sets apart CM Punk from everyone in his promos is that he knew that he has to do, I'm gonna see you on the next show promo. But he still gave something new to the crowd, and he still sent them happy because he did say, you know what, I do agree. I am here. I do agree that the contract signing should happen here, but both of these guys are not here, but I am here. And he acknowledged that issue in the middle of his promo, and he ended it with something that, he didn't mention last week. He did mention one thing that he did mention last week was that no one, either of them has not beaten him, you know, the, if both of them have not helped each other, he would have beaten both of them. The second thing that he didn't mention last week, but we all know, was that he brought them to WWE, and I think this was a, a storyline point which he brought it new, and he brought it in front of this crowd because he gave something to this crowd, and I liked it. But also, he said that his favor is something that, maybe is what he wants. It is essentially, and I think what he wants is a WrestleMania main event, and I think that is what he's gonna allude to at SmackDown. He's probably gonna ask Paul Heyman that I'm asking for my favor, which is have this match as the main event of WrestleMania. I think that's what's gonna happen. But I think storyline wise, it makes sense for. I think it is kind of like the better storyline right now. Bianca, Io, and Rhea to main event, or if Jey Uso's name is literally main event Jey Uso, so he should be the main event. But I don't think, because what are they doing? Like, the Usos reunited. Obviously, Cena's promo went for too long, so Jimmy just randomly came out. Like Cole mentioned that this is the first time that the Usos were in a tag team match, straight tag team match, after 1.5 years, which was when they defeated Roman and Solo Sikoa at Night of Champions. This should have been a way bigger deal and in a way bigger feud also, like them going up against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which are like lower card people. They are not even threats to Jay. And they won in the end. They hit like a good 1D. Apart from that, they didn't do really any tag moves, any good moves. They did like one other tag team move, which was, I didn't like it, but they won. In the end, Gunther tried to attack both. He kind of sent Jimmy out of the ring. Jay was going to give him a spear, but his leg slipped, which I think was intentional. I think now that seeing what happened last week and seeing the visceral response to it, I think Triple H has decided, first of all, he did the Entertainer versus Destroyer thing for their match. And I think he's doing that, maybe Jay can't wrestle. I think he's going to make this a part of this feud, and I think at WrestleMania he's probably going to be at his 100 best, and Gunther is not going to expect this, and then this is going to happen. Next week you're going to get Gunther versus Jimmy Uso, which will be a great match. It's just that, like, it is 3 weeks till WrestleMania, and Gunther has not defended his world title since Saturday night's main event, which happened on January 25th. He has not defended his world title since then. It's been more than 2 months that he has not defended his world title. Like, you could have just had his matches against Axiom, Otis, and everything be a world heavyweight championship match. Add another layer that I'm a defending champion, I'm defending against all comers. But they didn't. The thing is, I like the Braun versus Penta match, but it feels like whenever, like, they were getting into that fifth gear, which was the 5 minutes of Fury last thing, they were not able to, because Dom interfered, and Braun won by disqualification. He wanted Penta to beat up uh, you know Braun Breaker, but he didn't. He put the chair on his face and kicked him, and then Finn beat him up, and they stood tall with a weird ending to the show. Apart from that, also you had, the show was essentially Dom trying to convince Penta. The thing is, storyline wise, them having a multi-man match at WrestleMania makes sense, because there has been weeks they have been talking about adding a new member. Dom has been talking about it for 2 weeks that he wants to add Penta. They have had their issues with Braun anyways. I just think that if this is a multi-man match, I think it needs like 3 more guys. I think it needs Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, and Pete Dunne. Like, they have their histories with Penta also. So I think add them and make this like a 7-man ladder match. Even though I would have preferred a straight singles between Braun and Penta at Mania, but if you wouldn't have a multi-man match, have a 7-man ladder match at Mania. I think that will be much better. What is happening with the World Tag Team Championships the Viking Raiders have since the War Raiders have defeated Creeds? What are they doing? Maybe I missed it because I missed some of the show also, but I have not seen them on television since then. Like, what is their match? I think their match is going to be against New Day at Mania, but when are they going to build it? Like, this is such a mess. This old WrestleMania thing is such a mess right now. And also, it clearly looks like it's going to be Lyra versus Bailey at Mania, because after the match, Liv tried to attack Lyra, but then, Bailey saved her. It looks like it's going to be Lyra versus Bailey. Maybe Lyra and Bailey like kind of go after the tag titles next week. They get like a tag title shot. I know it doesn't make sense, but at least they'll defend the titles. Maybe there'll be some discomfort, and then it will be announced Lyra and Bailey are facing each other. Like, we should get like more number one contenders matches. Why not do like what the gauntlets you have done for the Intercontinental title match? Do it for the women's. Have Bailey win that gauntlet to challenge Lyra for the title. I think that will be better. And the thing is that apart from that was mainly the Cena segment. I think I may have missed, yeah, the El Grande Americano thing. It was awesome, though I think some people will take umbrage with it because it had the whole Gulf of America thing. But they did some AI stuff also in the promo. I really like the vignette. I really like the entrance. You can say it is borderline racist, but it kind of makes sense in this feud. He's trying to be a luchador and he isn't. So he is doing the whole stereotypical things. Their match was good. Like, they were actually going like there were this is awesome chants also. In the end, I think what made the taking the mask off finish more innovative was that he straight away went to the ankle lock. So Innovate protects Dragon Lee, because it was not you can also always say that Dragon Lee didn't tap because he was feeling the pain from the ankle lock. It's because he was in such a position in the ankle lock that if he had not tapped, eventually his face would have revealed. And he has a good head of hair also. So he won El Grande Americano. I'm just like, where were rest of the LW? Whenever Dragon Lee goes out and has a match or something, where does the LWO go? They are not injured. Where are they? I think probably the match at Mania is gonna be uh, American. It's going to be American made and El Grande Americano versus LWO, and probably that is going to be where Chad Gable gets revealed to be El Americano Grande, and then he and Ray wins the match. I think that's what's gonna happen at Mania. They're gonna get their special match at least. I'm glad at least Chad is getting like having a non-title match at Mania is you are getting good treatment. I just hope that this character leads to him eventually winning a singles title, probably like an IC title, maybe not. And I do think the direction that they're going with the US title, we're probably going to see LA versus Jimmy at Mania for the US title. I think that's what's the direction there is. So I would have liked a multi-man ladder match there. Like, it would have given guys like Carmelo and Rade a chance to be in the Mania card. They have their history with the US title, their history with LA Knight too. It would have made sense for them to do it also. But alas. Then you had the Cena segment. I think the problem that certain people have with this Cena feud with Cody is they expected bang 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 bang. They expected straight away promo battles because the turn was presented in that way, that they were expecting this to be like a straight away, like like punch punch punch, like throwing people, talking shit and everything, where Cena has been trying to tell a story. Like, this Cena promo for me was a roller coaster. Like, I was like, where is Cena going with this? Then he would, circle it back to things that, made sense, or, certain things that he wanted to get off his chest, or he wanted to expose the fans. And I was like, the spinner belt and everything, I was like, okay, like, that is a good point, but is that really the the point where you realize that the fans were dumb? Like, wasn't it the night that you won against JBL at Mania? or SummerSlam, I don't remember, where half of the fans were booing you. Shouldn't that be the first night you were kind of, done with it? His promo essentially was that, and he used the fact that he targeted that kid last week, and he said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to give you the limelight. You come here to see me, not me. And he said that I'm going to be the last champion. I'm going to end Ric Flair's legacy, becoming the 17th world champion, becoming the world champion for the 17th time. That when I win the championship, I retire, and I'm like, is this giving an open for Cody to win? But then I went to Twitter, and it was essentially they're doing the Summer of Punk in reverse. Like they're having Cena be the heel. He's doing the Summer of Punk that he's gonna leave, but it's a heel thing now, and that essentially Cody is doing what Roman did in the build to WrestleMania 39 against Cody Rhodes, which was essentially like, have you ever even been champion like this? Do you know what it means to be a world champion? And that is what kind of like Cody was doing. Not essentially that, but he did the exact same like segment where laying down the bed. The thing with Cody is, I am glad he got the reactions. I'm glad Cena got the reaction. It's just that when Cody goes into his promos, I think his acting is a little bit over for me, and the content he says, I hope he adds some like buzzwords between which are like, oh, but like it hits you, because I think that's what the crowd is expecting, for you to go into like a story. They expect you to go like hard bang when Cena said all this much. The things is that he said were good. That he said the champ is not you out there, the champ is me in here between these people. And what we are seeing is Cena is increasingly disrespecting Cody Rhodes as well. As last week he said, "Hey kid," and then Cody said, "Find your real John Cena." This week, Cena didn't even acknowledge Cody. He was like, "I'm gonna take the championship from these people." Cody was like, "Don't you think you're gonna take the championship from me?" And this is essentially, Cena is the one that is calm here, even though he has gone heel. And Cody did say that, I thought that you were not in your right senses, but you're in your right senses. You seem determined to do what you do. So it's actually Cody is much more confident, but the disrespect to him is getting to him. Meanwhile, Cena may feel like he's the heel, so he's out of control, blaming everyone, but he's in his right emotions. Like, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he wants to do. He essentially wants to ruin wrestling, and he said that. He said that when I go away, you introduce another world title, which would be a toy belt, because the real championship will be with me, and I'll be the real champion. The thing is, Cena does you nothing. It gets a little bit over, but it was good. It's just that it goes on for too long, and then he circles back. So the people who are watching, they're like, oh, it makes sense. Then, it makes sense. And there are people who want like a promo battle. The thing is, story wise, it makes sense. One thing happened last week, one thing happened this week. Maybe it would have made much more sense for Cena to not acknowledge him this week and go out of the ring in the first week, and then this week it would have made much more sense for Cody to call him a bitch. Maybe those lines could have been like shifted from first week to second week. But people who want a promo battle, you know what a story is, right? Like, these people, half of them are like Cody haters. They just want to get like the gotcha moment. Oh, Cody is nothing, he got roasted. And the rest are, they saw a moment which was like Cena turning heel, and they were like, oh, we are gonna get this, we're gonna get Thugonomics John, we're gonna get this. But if you watch the first promo, this is not what Cena wants to be. Like, they even released a shirt which was that the last champion is now. And probably the next week in London, we are probably going to get to know why he joined The Rock. Maybe they'll get physical also. And storyline wise, it makes sense. Week to week, these things change. Like, people who want that promo battle, like half of them are like Roman Reigns stands there, like, oh, promo battle, I like Cody promo battle, because they want Cody to get cooked. The thing is, in the end, it was a good segment. I liked it. It just was a roller coaster of emotions for me, and it furthers the story. Like, you want to watch it for next week. Probably you're gonna get a lot of, and you have to. There are like 3 weeks left. why do you need to like get your answers just right now? Like, do you guys have not followed a story in a movie or a TV show or wrestling ever before? So overall, I would say it was a fine show. The ending was weird. The thing is that I don't think it's worth like, you know, watching the show at 1:30 a.m. in the night, in the morning you can say. I think I'll probably watch the show getting up and probably watching it without the, constant ads. It would be better for me. This was, I think, the last Raw on Sony Live. So this is an end of era. I think this is the last Raw on, I think, Indian television as well. The thing is, because Raw is getting on Netflix India from 8th April. So I think the next week's Raw is probably going to be on YouTube, kind of like what the UK guys had, and this SmackDown is going to be the last SmackDown. So this is an end of era. Like, this SmackDown is going to be the last ever WWE show on Sony Live and on Indian television. We're never going to get a Raw and SmackDown and even NXT again on Indian television or, a Sony Live. So, what did you think about Raw? What did you think about my review? If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then check for those who do. My social media links, which are my Twitter/X account link and my Instagram account links, are in the description. So go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is ShapBoy@OKICICI, is in the description also. So go donate any amount of money which you can, which will help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for right now. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.